Guys, good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. It is Saturday morning here as I'm recording. It's been a busy week. It's gonna continue to be busy for the next couple of weeks. So today, as I'm recording this, it is the 14th, September 14th. Laura's first birthday is on the 16th, so we've been doing all kinds of prep work for Laura's first birthday party. I did go to Party City and I got her a couple of table decorations and items for her party, plates, napkins, things like that, balloons. I actually think Elijah is going to go back over there either today or tomorrow and get her a helium tank so that we can air out some of the balloons and have them float for her pictures. I'm just having a meal prepped breakfast sandwich that we always make. I do have a video showing the recipe of the breakfast sandwiches that we make up on my channel already. So if you're interested, you can head over and see how we make these. I also got new glasses. So I went to the eye doctor a couple weeks ago and I got my updated prescription. And I got new sunglasses, new glasses, and I also got contacts. So if you've seen a couple of videos of me not wearing my glasses at all, I did get contacts and I've been wearing them like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just like as I'm getting comfortable with them. And I actually really like them. I'm surprised that I was able to put them in because I'm kind of like squeamish when it comes to my eyes and stuff. But I was able to get them in and I'm really excited about like wearing them on vacation. Although I haven't said anything about it yet. So we are going on vacation next week for Laura's first birthday party. So I did mention it to members only on the other channel because we won't really have good signal there. So I'm gonna go ahead and make all of the videos for next week members only on Saturday so that they can have early access to them, and then they'll post regularly on the regular schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I'm still having to prep all of those videos, so I'm really like trying to hammer down on work to get the videos made and scheduled for you guys. So it's definitely been a busy week prepping for Laura's first birthday, prepping for vacation, and then also we have a wedding shower to go to tomorrow. So it's all happening all at once this last couple weeks of September. So it's been really busy over here, so I'm really glad that I went ahead and prepped these. I'm gonna stay home today and I'm gonna go ahead and make my morning coffee and I'm gonna hammer down on some work. But there's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about. I know that I said that I was gonna make a video kind of like giving you guys an update on where we're at in life and like updates on what we're doing as a family, so I wanted to do that today. But first, let's make coffee. Recently made this pumpkin streusel bread, and oh my gosh, it is almost like a bread pudding, and it's Elijah's favorite thing now. And so he's eaten like most of the loaf, and I'm gonna make another one for our friend's mom because she's like really wanting some of my baked goods. So I'm gonna make her some, and I think we're gonna bring it to her at work. For our cruise because I kind of need to multitask right now given the fact that we're so close to leaving for vacation and also prepping for Laura's birthday, and I'm busy with work and stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our family planning journey and what's coming up for our little family, what we have planned, things like that, because with the arrival of Laura's birthday, I have started getting a lot of questions as to when or if we're gonna have another baby. And I kind of just wanted to clear that up in terms of like what our timeline looks like. If you watched my birth video that I just posted a couple of days ago, I actually went into a little bit of detail as to what has changed in terms of our family planning and like what has changed in terms of when or if I'd like to have another baby, just because of how traumatic and long-term my birth was. So I still have long-term effects from my birth with Alora. And I went into like more detail about that in my birth story. So if you want to know about that, you can go watch my birth story. But because of the fact that I still have nerve damage in my left thigh from her birth, it really honestly scared me about having another baby or having another epidural or long labor. So in all honesty, I'm really not sure about when I would want to be pregnant again and have another labor and delivery. In all honesty, Elijah does want 2 kids. I do want to give Alora a sibling. Not only was my labor and delivery really tough with Alora, but my pregnancy was really tough with her too. And I had a loss before her. So I had a miscarriage 4 months before I got pregnant with Alora. And then after I got pregnant with Alora, the first about 22 weeks of my pregnancy with her, I was absolutely sick as a dog, bedridden for the majority of it, because I had what I now think was probably HG, but I was never officially diagnosed with HG during my pregnancy with her. I lost 30 pounds. I could not eat or drink really anything for the majority of that time. I threw up from 5 weeks until about 14 and a half, 15, multiple times a day, every single day. And then from weeks about 15 to 22, I threw up about once a week, if not more, until I was about 22 weeks along. And then from 22 weeks to 26 weeks was when I felt the best during my pregnancy with her, but I still wouldn't call it good. And then starting around 28 weeks, I started getting more nausea again, and I had more nausea from 28 weeks until I delivered her. And I was on anti-nausea medicine the entirety of my pregnancy with her, up until I delivered. I actually had to have Zofran in the hospital because I hadn't eaten anything, and I wasn't able to take my anti-nausea medicine the morning that I went into labor with her. So they had to give me more because I hadn't eaten anything and I hadn't had my medicine, and I was starting to get nauseous during the delivery. So all of that, needless to say, has made me kind of hesitant to be pregnant again and have another baby. Like I said, we do want to give Alora a sibling, and ideally we would be looking at a 2 to 3 year age gap. I'm leaning more towards the 3-year age gap. My husband kind of wants more of like a 2.5 year age gap between her and her sibling. But for me, I'm just not ready in the slightest to be pregnant again. And I understand like his family planning goals and aspirations and wanting to have siblings somewhat close in age, but I'm just not at all ready to be pregnant again, even at this point being a year postpartum. The whole idea just really honestly terrifies me. I don't know if I were to deliver again, if I were to have a long labor, if my leg would get worse, or if I would get numbness in both legs. I really have no way of knowing that, and the unpredictability of that really terrifies me. So yes, ultimately, would I like to be pregnant again? Yes. Would I love for the labor and delivery and whole pregnancy as a whole to be much easier and a much smoother process? Yes. But realistically, that would put us trying to conceive maybe when she's around like 2.5, to have a baby when she is like 3 or so. Honestly, three or 4 in terms of her age gap would be perfect for me. There's a couple of other factors coming into like whether or not we want to try to conceive at the 2 or 3 year mark. In all honesty, we're trying to buy a house right now, and so our timeline kind of fits more with like the 3 or 4 year, because we are trying to save a down payment right now for a house, and that would put us looking into buying around next summer, so around like July, August maybe, if not a little earlier. So we're kind of planning for that right now, and honestly that is kind of a make or break thing when it comes to whether or not we want to have another baby, because we do not think that this house that we're in currently is big enough for 2 kids. And so because of that, we're really not willing to have another baby in this house. And so it kind of hinges on whether or not we're able to get into a new house next summer. So roughly about a little less than a year from now. And if we were able to get into something a little bit bigger, then that would kind of make us feel a little bit better about trying to conceive for another baby. But yeah, I'm just really not looking forward to being pregnant again, really not looking forward to another labor and delivery, and the aspect of not knowing whether or not it's going to make my leg worse. It would just, I feel like it's something that I really would need to talk to my next OB about to be more comfortable with. But do we want more kids? Yes. We'd like to have one more. We kind of played around with the idea of having 3 kids, and that was honestly before I got pregnant with Alora, so that has kind of changed my perception around having 3 kids. Would having 3 kids be cool to me? Was that my original thought before getting pregnant? Yes. Now being pregnant and having a daughter and going through the entire labor and delivery process, now I think honestly I don't know that I'd want to have 3 kids. I don't know that my body could handle delivering 3 kids. I think we're settled on 2. Elijah's good with 2. I think we'll kind of just feel things out, and if we have another baby and we want to talk about having a 3rd at that point, I think maybe we will. But we're kind of leaning more towards having the second one, 3 or 4 year age gap with Alora. She's 1 now. Buying a house, obviously, before we start trying for another baby. And if I were to get pregnant again, I would definitely advocate for myself more when it comes to the anti-nausea stuff, because my last OB was like really hesitant about prescribing me Zofran, and I think that would have really helped me during my pregnancy with Alora, because they would only prescribe me promethazine or Bongesta, which was like Unisom B6 combo, and my nausea was so severe that the Unisom B6 combo was not even touching the nausea whatsoever during the first trimester. And because I have such a problem swallowing pills, I have to take them with food, and I wasn't hungry enough or not nauseous enough to eat food, so I couldn't take the pills, and then even if I did, I would throw them up, and they just weren't working for me. So they ended up prescribing me promethazine suppositories rather than sublingual Zofran for some reason, even though I was further along than 9 weeks, which a lot of OBs say that they don't want you taking Zofran before 9 weeks. I would have been around 12 or 13 weeks when they prescribed that to me, and I had to do what I had to do to survive during that time. But I really, really, really wish, and I asked them about Zofran, but they were like, no, we can't give that to you. Like, the only option we have is like a suppository. So unfortunately, that's the route that we had to go with it. And the promethazine would slightly touch the nausea, but it would make me so tired that I could not function. So it was kind of like the same philosophy with like Benadryl. Like, you can't have an allergic reaction if you're knocked out and too tired to have one. Same thing with the promethazine. You can't be nauseous if you're exhausted and want to fall asleep and take a nap. So it just wasn't realistic for my ideal life. I couldn't drive when I took it. I couldn't work when I took it. I couldn't really do anything. All I would want to do is take a nap after I took the promethazine. So it wasn't like realistic for my lifestyle. And so given the fact that I have to, now that I have a daughter, I'm going to have to be able to operate a vehicle. I'm going to have to be able to work. It's just not realistic for me to be on promethazine for the entirety of my pregnancy, my next pregnancy. So I think I'm going to try to advocate for myself a little bit more when it comes to that next time. But if that were the case and I were to have less nausea and less sciatic nerve pain and things like that, wishful thinking, I know. But if that were the case and my second pregnancy were to go much smoother, I think that would kind of like really ease my nerves a little bit about it, and ease my nerves a little bit about having a 3rd one as well. Not to say that we're going to jump there. We're going to hold off on that thought until when and if we have a second baby. But I kind of just wanted to go into a little bit of detail about where our thought process is on that. Do not be expecting a pregnancy announcement from me anytime soon, because I am not ready in the slightest. I do want to spend more time with Alora as just a single child for right now. I feel like she is a very needy baby. She still co-sleeps, she still co-naps for every nap that she takes. She still breastfeeds, she still needs me for a big majority of the day. And I just feel like she's not ready for me to like, my attention to be focused elsewhere on another baby right now. And I really just want to give her that time as an only child right now. And I feel like another thing is the aspect of my work-life balance right now. I think my plate is full enough as it is. I don't think I would be able to handle any more things on my plate right now. Being that I work full-time, I stay home with her, I take care of the house, I cook, I clean, everything else. I have dogs. So I just feel like that's not realistic for my lifestyle right now, and I have too much on my plate to add anything else. And I really think that if we were to have another baby, realistically, I would love for Elijah to find a work from home job, or if he were able to stay home with me and help me do my work. and take a little bit off of my plate and be able to help me edit and watch the kids and things like that, that would be 100% ideal. Not to say that like that would ever happen, because I really don't know. I don't have any way of predicting the future on that. But that would be my ideal scenario if it came down to us having a second baby, because I really don't think that, I mean, I do a lot, but I don't know that I'd be able to handle a toddler, a baby, work from home, and take care of the house. It's a lot. And shout out to those women that do, because you are some of the strongest people I will ever know. I don't know how you guys do it. And you know, I have a lot of faith in myself, but maybe not that much. Really, I want to be the best mom that I can be to Alora and any future kids that I have. And I really just feel like I'm not able to do that if I am sick as a dog with nausea during my pregnancy, if I can't walk after delivery, if I'm trying to work and take care of the kids in the house all at the same time. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. As of right now, before we buy our house, definitely just sticking with one baby, and maybe try to conceive when she's 2.5 or 3. That would be my ideal goal. Although Elijah would like a shorter age gap, he would more prefer like a 2 to 3 year age gap. I respect his opinions, but I just don't think it's realistic for us as a family. And I do think he agrees with that. It's honestly just the baby fever I think is setting in now that she's a year old. Mostly for him, but also for me too. I do want to give her a sibling. I do want to have another baby. But it's complicated. There's a lot of factors that go into that, you know? Like, not just for me, but for everybody. Family planning is such like an intimate thing for your household, and it's so dependent on your situation. I feel like a lot of people are pushing for like 2 under 2. I feel like it's almost kind of a trend right now. But I just know myself, and I know that I would not be able to handle that, and I know that I would not be able to take the best care of her if I'm pregnant and having to deal with the morning sickness and all of the pregnancy symptoms, let alone having to work on top of that. So I just don't think that's realistic for me at all, and I never wanted 2 under 2. So that's why I was so adamant about getting an IUD like immediately after I had Alora. So that's what I did. So yeah, that's where our head is at in terms of family planning. I probably will go into a little bit more detail about the house buying process. I know that I haven't talked about it at all on my channel. It's kind of been like a tentative thing, like we don't know enough about it to really talk about it on my channel, but we are planning on buying a house next year, hopefully next summer. We've got a lot of things lined up to do so I'm really excited about that. I might document a little bit in terms of the house buying process if that's something that you guys are interested in, knowing what's on the market around here, knowing about what price things are going for here. I know the housing market here is crazy, and houses are kind of in short supply, especially ones that are more affordable. And so I think maybe that might be something that would be kind of interesting to show, the house buying process here in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Spearville. And prices are starting to come down a little bit, and interest rates, just like maybe by a point. So that's kind of what's motivating us to really get the ball rolling with this and save up a down payment and like look into mortgage loans and banking and realtors and things like that. So I'm really excited to start that process. We've been wanting to buy a house for a while now, but it's not been realistic for us to do so until now. So yeah, that's what's been going on with us in terms of like the family, what's future plans. Elora's a little upset if you can't tell. So I'm gonna finish up here and play with her a little bit. I think she needs some stimulation in her life. She needs me to play with toys with her. Hey! So I'm gonna finish up packing up here a little bit. I got most of my jewelry all packed in this little organizer so they don't get tangled. Makeup bag, hair bag, got most of that stuff. I also found these little magnetic necklace clips. So instead of hooking the necklace with the little clip that they come with, because I have a hard time doing that, especially behind my head, they're like magnetics, so you can stack 2 necklaces or 3 necklaces onto each other and then just snap it with a magnet behind your neck. I'm super excited to try these because that's the main reason I don't wear necklaces, is because I have such a hard time taking them on and off, and I want to layer them, but I have a hard time doing so. So I'm really excited to try these. I just got them off Amazon, but I'm gonna stack some necklaces and then put them in here, and then finish up what I'm doing here, and then probably make dinner. My dog Mila actually hurt her shoulder the other day playing outside in the yard with my other dog, and so we called the vet because she just was not acting like herself at all whatsoever. She wasn't eating or drinking. She was limping around. She usually follows me everywhere, but she wouldn't move. So we called the vet and they got her prescribed a muscle relaxer. So she's been on that for a couple days now. She's doing much better, but we're kind of just watching her to see like if she improves by Alora's birthday. And if not, then we're gonna take her back to the vet and they can take a look at her and see what's going on there. But of course that would happen just a couple days before we're leaving on vacation, and the dog sitter is gonna have to deal with that here by himself. So that's a whole, of course, you know, it always happens that way. But other than that, we're really excited to go on vacation. I won't say where we're going right now until we come back, or the exact dates we'll be gone, but I will say the last couple weeks of September we're going to be on vacation, and I'm really excited. I do know that we do have access to internet, but I don't know how well it's going to work, or how spotty it's going to be, if anything. So like I said earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and make those videos members only, and then they'll air on the regularly scheduled Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As it goes for my channel, if I have internet access, I might do a live stream, just because I think it's a little bit easier than taking the footage home and then editing it afterwards. So if I have good signal, I might live stream, or just post a video that's kind of unedited. But other than that, I don't think anything's gonna go up on my channel during the last week of September. But for the main channel, things are gonna go up on there. Coben's channel, I don't think I have anything to post on there as of right now. If he gives me footage before we leave, then I might try to get out a video for you guys. But if not, then we'll be back the last couple days of September, early October for him. Okay, I'm gonna go prep some lunch and play with Allura. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!